It's real, y'all. If I ever work with children and read Bibles with them, one of the things that I generally say is the Bible is real, the Bible is true, or the Bible is real and true. Now, that doesn't mean there's some questions about how things happen and we can't measure things exactly or whatever, but what I want the kids to know, and what we need to know as adults and followers of Jesus, as Christians, is that the Bible is distinct from other books. So they've probably read books like The Berenstain Bears, they've probably read books about princesses and fairies and superheroes and Paw Patrol and who knows what. But those books are imaginary. In the world of libraries, we would say those books are fiction. They're not true. Non-fiction books are different. Now, the Bible, it's really a collection of books. So instead of just calling it a book, which it is a book, it's a collection of books, all the way from Genesis to Revelation. But those books are different genres. Do you remember that fancy word back when you were in English in middle school or in high school when they talked about the genre? Fiction means not true. Non-fiction means true. I always had to think through that. You have, your biographies that are stories written about people. You have autobiographies. People wrote stories about themselves, wrote about their own lives. And so in the same way, the Bible is a collection of many different kinds of genres. We don't call them the same names in general. We call them things like gospels and letters, all those kinds of things. So those are different genres. So when we read the Bible, it's important to remember, when you're reading with older kids in particular, that it's not all going to sound the same. And much the way I've heard it said that if you read a cookbook, you don't read it the same way you would read a John Grisham novel, right? There are different purposes, different ways to read it, different clues and symbols and things like that. The Bible is the same way. So it's helpful to know someone who's teaching you, to give you some background information, or even to look in a good commentary. Even in some Bibles, if you have a study Bible at the beginning of each book that's in the Bible, it'll tell you a little bit about the time period where something happened, what was going on in that time, and it's super helpful. Those are great things to share with kids. In much the same way as I need help if I'm learning about, if I'm watching a movie, for example, and it's set in a different time period, maybe in the 1800s or maybe back when Jesus was alive. If I'm watching a story like that, it's not all going to make sense to me because it's not how we live and what we do. So it's important for children to know the Bible is real and true, but it wasn't written to us right now, right? It was written to different people that lived in a different time for them, and it's applicable to us. And so there are fancy words for that. One is called exegesis. That's what it was meant to be at the time, who it was written to. The next word is hermeneutics, and hermeneutics means kind of how you can apply it right now. So those are fancy words, but it's really important as we read the Bible as adults, and even as we read with kids, whenever we can tell them the background information so that they understand it a little bit better, that's super helpful, who it was written to, and then how can we apply it to us now. So the Bible is real and true. It's a collection of books. They have different genres in the books, and it's really important as we learn how to read scripture that we pay attention to those different genres as we go through.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking or subscribing to my channel so that you won't miss out on any future videos. Or check out my website, Teaching Kids About God, at elainependergrass.com. Thank you so much.